Welcome back to today's economic news. I'm your host, John. Today, we're diving into a story that's making waves across not just the sports world, but in political circles and community discussions nationwide. Imagine waking up one morning, heading to your local sports field, only to find the rules have changed and not to everyone's liking. We're talking about the Save Women's Sports movement and the unfolding culture war surrounding transgender athletes participating in women's sports. You might think, why should this matter to the average person going about their day? Well, let me tell you, this is more than a sports issue. It's a legislative battleground affecting education, rights, and the integrity of competitive sports as we know them. Before we delve into today's unfolding drama, let's take a step back. Recall the transformative era of the late 20th and early 21st century, when the momentum for transgender rights began to pick up steam. It was a time when legislation like Title IX, passed in 1972, aimed to eradicate gender discrimination in educational settings, was scrutinized and reinterpreted to fit our evolving understanding of gender identity. Fast forward to situations with high-profile athletes like Leah Thomas that brought this issue to the front pages, where debates regarding gender and sex clashed over the fairness in women's sports. As societal norms shifted, institutions staggered under the weight of conflicting ideologies, caught in a tug of war between inclusivity and what some view as the integrity of female competitions. Now, jumping to 2025, we find ourselves in a heightened state of political and social confrontation. Enter Donald Trump back in the presidential office, and his administration's newfound vigor to safeguard what they see as the integrity of women's sports, with the passage of the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act by the House. This legislation aims to protect female sports from perceived unfair competition. But let's look at some hard data. A staggering 79% of Americans oppose allowing transgender athletes in women's sports, including 67% who identify as Democrats. That's a challenging statistic for any policymaker working on this issue. It's not just about votes. It's an emotional and moral stance for many. Consider the incident with the University of Pennsylvania, which faced a potential freeze of $175 million in federal funding due to their policy on transgender athletes. Imagine if you ran your household finances like that, jeopardizing essential resources over policy disputes. It's like telling your kids no lunch money because you disagree with the school's policy. Hardly a sustainable approach. Then, we had Trump signing an executive order titled Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports on February 5th, which became a flashpoint for critics and supporters alike. Did they think an executive pen could easily solve the complexities of identity and fairness? Now, let's talk about the ideological clash at the heart of this. The mainstream narrative says inclusivity is the cornerstone of progress, and barring trans athletes contravenes the spirit of equity our society has built its values on. But the critics have a different viewpoint. They express concerns about the competitive advantages trans women might hold, emphasizing physicality and fairness. Are we ignoring the sacrifices made to build a level playing field for women? Let's get to the real voice of skepticism, the libertarian perspective. This conversation isn't just about rights and competition. It's about where your taxpayer dollars are directed. An inflation concern arises from government spending funneling into compliance with new gender identity policies. Are we diluting focus and funds from broader educational excellence for these regulations? Then factor in government incompetence. Agencies were pushed into rapid policy shifts, stumbling over contradicting local and federal guidance like a circus acrobat without a net. We also see a stark loss of liberty. Policies pressuring institutions under threat of funding withdrawal infringe on rights, and autonomy steering us back to compliance under the federal thumb. As the curtain falls on today's segment, remember this. The conversation about sports is more than just about games. It's about values, identity, and priorities. If you're growing weary of footing the bill for policies you didn't sign up for, and governmental hiccups you're powerless to stop, it's time to take a stand. Hit that subscribe button and add your voice to the discussion. I'm John, signing off from today's economic news, reminding you that in the world of sports and beyond, how we play the game can shape the society we want to live in. Thank you for tuning in.